The Banshees of Inisherin. The Oscars are around the corner, so it is a good opportunity to review all of the films that received multiple nominations. And we're gonna start with The Banshees of Inisherin, which is widely considered one of the best movies of 2022 and won 3 Golden Globes, including the Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. The first thing I'd like to address in this ironic review is how the hell this movie was even nominated. A couple of years ago, the Oscars decided to openly switch to cultural Maoism, and in order to be eligible for nomination, you have to fulfill a certain quota. A diversity quota, so to speak. But The Banshees of Inisherin is set on a fictional Irish island, and all of the characters are Irish. There's a clear, blatant, and insulting lack of diversity. The only reasonable explanation I found is that the Academy considers the film diverse enough because it follows the traditional English point of view that Irish people are not really white. They just, happen to have a relatively pale skin pigmentation. But that's an illusion. So if we apply this principle to the Banshees of Inisherin, it all makes perfect sense. Since Irish people are in fact colored, this movie suddenly ticks all the necessary representation boxes. Okay, now back to the Banshees. The plot goes like this. There's this fictional island, presumably in Galway Bay, which is the west coast of non-fictional Ireland. At least that's where the film was shot, on Aran Islands. It is an incredibly beautiful place, which, when accompanied with stunning cinematography, obviously transforms the movie into a visual masterpiece. There is a small community of essentially peasants that lives on the island. They are generally quite simple people, and they drink quite a lot. Because what else are you supposed to do in a relatively isolated rural community, especially in Ireland? Then you have 2 close friends, portrayed by Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. One of them suddenly decides to end their friendship and asks the other to never communicate with him again. Because, I quote, "you are dull." And he actually has some artistic plans, like writing Irish folk songs, which is a more valuable pastime compared to constant drinking and discussing donkey feces with a dull person. If he will be bothered again, he's gonna start cutting off fingers on his own hand. Because, probably because peasants in Ireland are quite mentally unstable. Or maybe because it's a metaphor, and a pretty straightforward one. The film is set in the year 1923, during the Irish Civil War, and the name of the fictional island of Inisherin is literally translates to the island of Ireland. And this is the main problem with the Banshees. It is a masterfully crafted film from the technical standpoint. It occasionally features absolutely brilliant dialogues delivered by brilliant actors. And they speak with an Irish accent that makes some of the lines hilarious. But in the end, most of the movie boils down to this questionable idea of making allegory out of Irish peasants doing objectively stupid stuff and causing quite a bit of self-harm in the process. Because, look, this is the Irish Civil War. This is the religious conflicts in Ireland. Very symbolic, very deep. You can even use it as a metaphor for any civil war. Or probably even any war. Or maybe even, oh, come on, it just becomes ridiculous. Obviously, the script is more than just one far-fetched idea. There are more, like leaving the island of Ireland for a better place. Or child abuse. It's always a good idea to include child abuse, especially if you're planning to compete for the awards on major film festivals. But this island of Ireland is in the center of it all, and it seriously dumps down the movie. So what have we learned from the Banshees of Inisherin? Irish people are weird. Tourist industry of Aran Islands is about to blow up. Every war can be compared to a conflict of 2 alcoholics. Avoid peasants, they are stupid and unpredictable. Child abuse is bad. Women can read. In the end, The Banshees of Inisherin is definitely worth watching. But 9 Oscar nominations? Really?